I'm Adam the Horror Historian, and welcome to the very first episode of Nightmare Arcade, a series where we get to showcase some amazing indie games in the world of horror. For the very first episode, I really wanted to take a look at the first entry into a franchise that has done very well for itself, and that is Fears to Fathom Home Alone. Released July 2nd, 2021, by Rael, an Indian game developer looking to make a horror series that was based on true stories. Now, I really have to qualify that statement, for the simple reason that these games are actually based off of stories that were sent to them online. So take everything with a grain of salt, whether it being true or not. One of the best things to help this game out, in my opinion, is the amazing support the game has had on YouTube, and by some of the biggest creators.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Fears to Fathom, the first in an episodic series of horror games where you're home alone.
Top of the morning to you ladies, my name is Jacksepticeye and welcome to Fears to Fathom Home Alone Edition. You think we're gonna go save Kevin? Or be the opposite side of it and invade his home?
The story of this game is very simple. But even if it's not 100% accurate as told, it feels real enough that really this could have taken place anywhere, at any time. We play as a 14-year-old kid named Miles who is in fact home alone, as the title suggests. The game is done in first person and with a low poly count. The look specifically used is often referred to as VHS horror. The sound design in this game is minimal, and you spend the game dealing through the course of an evening. As you roam around the house, at a fairly slow pace, you can interact with a few things in the environment and can even turn on the game's ability to respond to your microphone, if you're looking for a little added difficulty. Imagine having someone redeem something on Twitch like a very loud scream. Your reaction could be rather amusing. This game is practically a masterpiece at making the most while not having the most resources available. I believe the entire project was done with just one person, and some things are a little rough around the edges, but this is an amazing start to a franchise. Home Alone can be done in roughly 20 minutes. I managed to finish the game and get the good ending on my first playthrough in about 13 minutes, but if you wanted to make sure to get all of the Steam achievements, or see what it's like to get caught, then I do feel like 20 minutes might be spot on. Miles moves very slow in this game, which is something that both added to the tension, but also to my annoyance. I'm currently dealing with a minor health issue, and my hobbled ass can move faster than this kid. I know this is basically sounding like nonsense, but I do wish I could move just a little faster. But let's not put the jets on this kid. I do feel like if we were moving too fast, the moments towards the end of this episode would have been pointless. The sound design is amazing. The knock on the door and the glass breaking were great ways to build the tension I was feeling when overall the game wasn't that scary. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Look, this game will not have you changing your underwear, but what makes this special is very easy to envision yourself in that position. Because we've all been there. I don't know anyone who's been home alone for any length of time and did not become unsettled by something. It may have been something stupid, or it could have been someone lingering around outside for far longer than they should have. Sadly, I did get the good ending to the game the very first playthrough. I really don't feel the need to go back and play it again right away. If I did, the only reason why I'm going back is to be getting the missing Steam achievements, and both of those should be fairly simple for me to do. To its benefit, the game really doesn't overstay its welcome. The sad thing is, it also has nothing to draw me back into it. Cool enough. The developer of this game seems to have no issues answering questions and doing interviews, because when I googled just that, several popped up rather quickly. A couple answers to the following interview I thought was rather interesting. Being an indie developer certainly gave you a lot of liberty in terms of designing and deciding on factors while creating the game. At the same time, indie development is also very lengthy and at certain times very difficult. How has the experience been for you and the team while creating the Fears to Fathom series? I should probably start this answer by addressing the fact that there is no team yet. It's just me in my small bedroom. The only reason I do game development is that I want to do it and not because I have to. I probably would have dreaded game development if it didn't have 100% liberty on my titles, or simply if I had to do it. I don't know if that makes much sense. I totally agree with you. Game development is difficult. It requires you to be very resilient, and it's super easy to lose motivation and give up on it. But my friends and community kept me going, and I'm super grateful for it. This may sound super weird, but whenever I felt low on motivation, I'd search up Fears to Fathom on YouTube and see someone play and enjoy the game. And I'll be like, dang, what I'm doing right now is maybe something and can bring a tad bit of happiness to people. And I'll be back to work on it the next moment. Horror as a genre is very broad, and it can be challenging to implement since many factors are needed to be nailed for a convincingly spooky game. How did you approach that aspect while developing the Fears to Fathom series? I just wanted to make horror games that I'd play myself. While I probably can't comprehensively answer it here, here's an incident that I attribute significantly to when it comes to the spookiness of Fears to Fathom. When I was super young, whenever my cousins came over, we would watch horror movies, just to have a good laugh. One day though, one of my cousins loaded this DVD. Too young to remember the movie's name. We were midway through it, where the protagonist was walking through a hallway, and I noticed something strange for a fraction of a second, I thought. I stood up and asked my cousin to pause and rewind, which she did frame by frame, and there it was. A human black figure at the corner of the frame. Just seeing it, I had the most raging chills all over my body. I felt like I saw something I wasn't meant to see, which really messed with the young me. The fact that I still remember it to this day should tell you something about how effective it was for me. I've attempted to incorporate such senses in Fears to Fathom, which I think is paying dividends. There is so much more to this interview, and I 100% believe that you should go check it out. I will make sure to have the link down below so you can go ahead and read it for yourself. More than just Markiplier and Jacksepticeye played this game. In fact, there are a ton of people both on YouTube and Twitch who all loved it. And I'm always such a sucker for a good Twitch clip of someone being scared.
La-di-da-di-da, lee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Ah, who shut my door? I'll close the game.
What do you mean? Bro, the TV was off.
Oh my god, that's... As if the game just closes.
This is a game I wish I had played earlier. I had seen some clips of it, and I'm fairly sure I saw the videos done by Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and even some of the sequels played on Twitch. This is a game that is worth seeking out, even if you don't 100% believe it's a real story. It's based in reality, which is something that doesn't happen and a whole lot of horror games. If you have played this, I would love to know what your reaction was to it. I definitely need to play the rest of the series sooner rather than later. Thank you for watching the very first episode of Nightmare Arcade. I was super excited to branch out with different ideas, and I think this is actually going to be a lot of fun for me to do. I'm not really good at this next part, so please bear with me. If you would like to know more about what games are coming up, the best way to do that is to be a sub on Twitch or a member of the Patreon that I just set up. We will be streaming over there once a month. I will be saving an archive for people who can't watch it live. As a little bonus, your name will be added to any long format video, and I'm also going to try to add it to the live streams. See if I can figure that out. Thank you again for all the amazing support in getting us over 900 subs. Funny enough, that was my goal for the entire year. So I guess next we're aiming for that even 1,000. Until next time, much love. Bye now.